I promised you some things on this portfolio. I promised you that I'd be full transparent. I do every single transaction in front of you guys. I do a video on every transaction that I did. That's the Bullseye playlist. Now, this is the warning shot that we've had. This is the warning shot that we've had. I'm a MEXC customer and I'm a UK citizen. I'm no longer allowed to use MEXC. We've had a warning shot and I am selling everything. So how does the Bullseye portfolio look right now? It's going to be pretty much a stop and start video, this video, guys, but it's probably the most important video that I've ever done. I want to be full and I want to be transparent. I want to show you exactly what the portfolio is doing now, what tokens I've got in now, and what tokens I'm going to have by the end of the video. So you can see that the Bullseye portfolio is currently 2,802. That's 254 and 30 profit. That's a 10% up. So when you look at it, it's not the end of the world. We're selling in a profit. We're selling in a profit. That means that our own capital has been sold at a profit. So what I'm doing is regenerating and I'm going to revamp this portfolio in a different account. I'm a MEXC UK customer. I love MEXC. I think the fees are cheap. I think the platform's great. It's easy to use. It's easy to trade. However, that is a risk that's staring me in the face. It's saying it's not available for UK customers. And when I've done more digging, the FCA can turn around and say, you're not dealing with UK customers going forward, and then stop it just like that. So I'm trying to mitigate my risk. I'm trying to stop the risk before it actually happens. And that's why I'm doing this, unfortunately, guys. A lot of these tokens are going to go back into the other exchange, the FCA registered exchange. That's how I'm mitigating the risk. I'm going with an FCA registered exchange as a UK customer. It's the only thing that I can do. Right. Okay. So like I say, we're up 10% on there. These are the tokens that are in here. We've got quite a few to deal with. That's why I need to sell everything. There's a couple of tokens in here that I'm keeping in here, and I'll tell you exactly the reason for that. NPC on Solana. That's done 260% since we put that in the portfolio. And XRP Healthcare, that's the other one. That's my other high risk one that I'm keeping and putting on a decentralized wallet because there's no exchanges that take them. No FCA ones anyway. And this is the bit that I wasn't looking forward to, but I've gone and done it anyway for you guys. And let me just show you an example of what I've had to do. So this is the CoinGecko portfolio. It's a free portfolio tracker for anyone that's new to watching this that doesn't track their own portfolio. What's the benefits of a free portfolio tracker? One thing, you can tell what your P&L is at any one time throughout the whole of the portfolio. You can tell what the 24-hour change is. You can tell who's the top gainers, who's the ones that you can average down on. You can see here, NPC on Solana, 3x since we put that in the portfolio. Absolutely smashed it. So this is what the portfolio looks like after I've sold everything that I needed to sell. There's some things that I could just transfer cross-chain. That was Avalanche. That was the Graph. That was DYDX. That was Arbitrum. That was Celestia. That was Jasmy Coin. XRP Healthcare going in an external wallet. NPC on Solana going in an external wallet. The rest of every single one of these has been sold into USDT. Every single one sold into USDT and then transferred over to the new exchange. So let me give you an example of how you painstakingly add transactions on these for sell orders. You go on there, you've got buy, you've got sell, you've got transfer. You've got three options. You want buy, you want sell. So we're going to be selling. I'm not going to do the transaction because I've already painstakingly gone through all of these now. Then you'd add in how much ICP you've got. Just imagine you had 10 ICP and then the price, and then you would add the transaction. So what it's doing is it's keeping track of all the ones that we've sold, even though they're not in the portfolio anymore. It's kept a track of the P&L for that. So it's important that we do go through and know exactly where our capital lies. If you can't see where your capital lies, you can't protect your capital. If you can't protect your capital, you can't be successful in crypto. So I've gone through these guys. I'm going to go and add the transactions with the new cryptocurrencies, but of course we need to chart them first. So I've got a new portfolio on a new exchange, and I'm going to go through every single transaction and every single thing that's in the portfolio with you. It's completely different now, and I'm going to go through it step by step. But before we do that, we've got to do the full market analysis. What are we looking for? Was it a good time to do this, by the way? It definitely wasn't a good time to do this. I'm buying things that are not at strong support levels. However, the portfolio carried the previous killer entries that were $250 in profit. And that means that we can look at this new portfolio with a new outlook, knowing that we're in profit already. So before we get into everything, I'm going to do a market outlook. Like I say, Bitcoin. This is the main thing. This is the main driving factor. We've been in this accumulation phase. We've been in this bull flag. Let's measure it. Been in this bull flag now since 218 days ago. We've been in there 218 days. That's coming up to a year, guys, that we've been in this bull flag. So are we actually finally going to break out today? Are we actually going to finally break out tomorrow? There's a couple of positives here. Let me just show you. What happened here? You got rejected here, and you've got a wick that pushed price action back down. You've got a rejection here, a wick, rejection there. You've got a rejection wick here. You've got two rejection wicks there. Now, what's happening here that's different? You've got a rejection wick, but the following day, we're not actually being rejected. Look at this, the following day rejection, following day rejection. We're not actually being rejected yet. We're actually trying to break. And what we're looking for is a simple thing, a break and a close above. We don't want that wick pushing price down. We want a break and a close above. So that's what we're monitoring on Bitcoin. We are at resistance, which means one thing. It means that I'm buying resistance, which is against the rules. However, unfortunately, we've been forced into this. So this is the only time that I can break the rules, is because the portfolio was vulnerable because I'm a UK customer, and it said UK customers can no longer use MEXC. It let me use MEXC, but I don't want the button to be switched off tomorrow. I don't want the button to be switched off the day after. So that's how I'm mitigating the risk. So this is what we're looking for. We're waiting for a break and a close on Bitcoin. Now, how can we monitor other markets to determine whether this is likely to happen? We're going to go through different markets now. Bitcoin dominance, first and foremost. What are we looking for in Bitcoin dominance? We're expecting a spike up because Bitcoin needs to lead the way before a bull run. That means Bitcoin needs to break out. For Bitcoin to break out, Bitcoin needs liquidity pushed into Bitcoin. People have got confidence in Bitcoin, and then alts will follow. What will happen? Alts will follow. You get a spike up on the dominance, and then what we're waiting for is ultimately this: bam, lower high, bam, alt season. So that's what we're waiting for. It's not happening yet. There's signals that we're going to get that push from Bitcoin. We need the break from Bitcoin. What do we need for Bitcoin to break? What do we need? We need a weak dollar. We need people to flood out of the dollar and into cryptocurrency, speculative assets, stocks, on risk assets. Now, we were looking at the Dixie before. We were looking at the Dixie down here, and we expected a bounce from here. We got a bounce from here. Where were we expecting price to react? It was this area here. Why did we draw this box? Why did we draw that box? There was the swing high. There was the swing low. That's the kill zone. We expected a reaction from here, and then we wanted a reaction, and then we want a rejection. So what we're looking for is this rejection from this area, anywhere in this area, bam, to the downside. As the dollar's coming down, the Dixie's coming down, other assets have people have more confidence to go into other assets. So we want a weak dollar, strong crypto. And then next, total three. How's total three performing? It's performing perfectly. We've come back, we've had the bounce, we've had the break, we've had the support test. Now we're making our way up. The area to beat on total three is 650.58 billion. That's total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So that's a good gauge. It's a good gauge. Total three is holding up. We're happy about that. Next thing, we talked about the dollar, the DXY, strength of the dollar. We want to know how strong the dollar is in crypto. So we look for the USDT dominance. USDT dominance. What's happening here, guys? This is a reversal pattern. You've got this wick here, which kind of invalidates it, push price action back down, but still, you've got the lower high. If we drop this level here, which is sitting at 5.22%, expect a volatile move to the downside. If you get a volatile move to the downside, what does that mean? People selling USD going into crypto. So that's what we're waiting for. And that's what we're monitoring. Right, okay, new portfolio. We've got some that were already in the portfolio that we've managed to keep in there. That's NPCS, Jasmy, TIA, GRT, DYDX, Arbitrum, AVAX, XRP Healthcare. XRP Healthcare has got an external wallet. NPCS has got an external wallet. The rest of them have been transferred to the new exchange cross-chain. And then I had to transfer my USDT from the sale of the MEXC account into the new exchange. So that's what I did. And then I bought some new cryptos that we're going to talk about. First one, NPCS. Before we talk about NPCS, this is the guy that called NPCS, Benton. Big shout out to you, mate. Big shout out to you. Look at this. This is where we got NPCS. Got this down here, guys. It's done a 3x in the portfolio already. You can see 3x in the portfolio, top gains. Here we go, 346%, 3.5x. Right, okay, so NPCS. What am I waiting for in NPCS? Get rid of all this. Get rid of all this, right? We've had one swing there. We've had a big swing there. We've had the second swing, the third swing, which is probably a 1618. Let me just test that. Not quite. Have we even got the 1618 on there? Right, 1618. Right, look at this, guys. Look at this. We're nearing the 1618. This would be my target before a pullback. We had the 1-to-1 equal measured move yesterday. What happened today? We expected a possible pullback. What happened today? Just completely ran. It's looking like it's going to hit the 1618. 1618 is sitting at 0.027349. Jasmy coin next. We've had the big bounce. We've had the big break. We've had a retest. Reacted from the retest. Area to close above is 0.02070. Once we've broken and closed above that, this is the next high, all the way up 0.02554. That's Jasmy coin. Celestia, we were waiting for the reversal of the inverse head and shoulders break. Let's get this up. Waiting for the inverse head and shoulders break. This is the right shoulder. It's put in a higher high. We'll wait. It's put in a higher low. We're waiting for it to put in a higher high. Putting in a higher high is a break and a close above $6.88. So that's still in the portfolio. GRT, exactly the same again. Had the bounce, still in the portfolio. Need to take out 0.01939. Then you'd expect a volatile move. You haven't got much resistance here. You haven't got much resistance here. Right, DYDX. So yeah, we've been tracking DYDX for some time. This has been a pain in the ass, this one. So this one's still in the portfolio. All the ones in green are still in the portfolio. So we've got Arbitrum, AVAX, and XRPH. So you can see on this one, we've been creating bullish divergences. You've got lower low, lower low, lower low. You've got higher low on the RSI. Let me just bring that up. Higher low, higher low. That's showing a bullish divergence. RSI, that measures the volatility of price action. So we can see that the buyers are there. The buyers are there. And the chart hasn't caught up yet. So we were waiting for the chart to catch up. What dollar level will the chart catch up? $1.13. You should see a big acceleration with little resistance. You've got a bit of resistance here, but little resistance up to $3.22. So that's a big move, and that'll play out over weeks rather than days. Okay. Next one's Arbitrum. Exactly the same Arbitrum. We've got strong support here. Strong support is sitting at $0.50, 52. Between 50 and 52. So holding support. We've had a break. We've had a close. Or we're trying to break and close above the $0.57. If we break and close above $0.57, I can see an acceleration all the way up to $0.68 on Arbitrum. These are ones that I'm holding for the bull market. I'll be scaling out and pulling out of my position over a period of time, but I'm keeping these ones for the bull market. So it's not trades that I'm going to be taking out profits tomorrow or the day after. Right, okay, next one, AVAX. AVAX is looking good. It's trying to break a local high. Local high sitting at $30.87. Break and close above $30.87. You can see an acceleration all the way up to $41.60 on AVAX. XRPH being absolutely battered over the last few days. We're currently getting rejected by this level here. $0.02795. So really on XRPH, we want a break and a close above 0.03882. This is where it went before. This was back in April 24, all the way up to 0.088, nearly 9 cents. Dot, you've got a big break, you've got a retest, and then it's trying to run. You need to take out $4.96. $5 is probably going to be a psychological resistance, and then you're going to get the acceleration on dot. These are just probabilities, guys. We're just analysts. We're looking at the markets. We're analyzing probabilities. We're looking at the time in the market. We're looking at whether stimulus is coming into the market. We're looking at all these factors to determine whether we're risk on, whether we're risk off. It's something that I'm doing personally. None of this is financial advice. It's something that I'm doing in front of you guys on YouTube, holding myself accountable. Right, okay, so we had an inverse head and shoulders. This is a nice example of an inverse head and shoulders. There's the left shoulder, lower low. What's happening? Lower high, come back down, lower low. What's here? Lower high. Then what happens? Something changes on the right shoulder, putting in a higher low. You could put a trend line in there. You've had 1, 2, 3 touches, confirms the trend. You've got a break of the neckline, and then you come back, support on the neckline. Support, support, support. So IMX, that's gone into the portfolio, $100 into the portfolio. Dot was $50, guys. This is $100. This is sitting at a strong support for me on the neckline. So $1.56 on IMX, $100. Shibu, $100 in Shibu. Simple reason. I had the killer entry on Shibu down here. From the previous portfolio, I transferred it to USDT, sent the USDT over, So I'm buying sheep, although technically my entry's back down here. I'll be adding all the entries back on the CoinGecko portfolio. We'll update it with you guys, either in the Discord or on YouTube. So I'll keep you posted anyway. Right, okay, so $100 sheep in the portfolio. Next one's Fetch AI. Again, this is one that I previously had. I'm buying back into that. We've had an inverse head and shoulders break and a close confirmed. We've come back down a little bit deeper than the neckline. Now we're holding the neckline. This is the neckline. $1.46. Ton coin, $100 ton coin in the portfolio. It's had a big pullback. I was interested in this back here. We managed to get an entry on the previous portfolio that was transferred into USD and back over. God, it bores me even talking about it, guys. Right, Beam next. $100 in Beam. Got this down here. Unfortunately, I'm buying at resistance. We've been trading in a range for a long time. I'm buying this back, $100 into Beam. What's that sitting at? 0.03973. Got ICP next. ICP's worked out quite well. Playing in a pattern. So we're playing in an accumulated phase, We're at support. So this is good. $100 of ICP at $8.06 into the portfolio. Gala next. So Gala, sorry, 2 cents. Woo blockchain. 0.1851 into the portfolio, $100. XCN, $100 into the portfolio, 0.00121. Same with GLMR, 0.1705, $100. Just going through these quickly now, guys. Engine coin, $100, 0.1545. Matic, look at that. What I'm expecting with Matic, guys, what's my thesis with Matic? I've put $100 in Matic, 0.371. Look at this trend line here. I'm expecting when ETH runs, everyone's discounting ETH. When ETH runs, it's got its own ETFs. It's got lots going on there. People have discounted ETH. People think ETH's dead. When ETH runs, you'll see the layer twos run. And I think that's why Matic's holding back. I think it's waiting for Ethereum to do its run. Bitcoin will run first. Ethereum will run next. The layer twos will run after that. And I think Matic's going to be one of the ones that run. So I'm adding Matic into the portfolio, 0.371. Next one, that was $100 of Matic. Next one's only $50. Reason why I'm adding 50 instead of 100 is because I've got Moonbeam, so I've got exposure already. So Moon River, $9.63, $50. Phantom, adding into the portfolio again. This is one of the ones that I got early. I've sold into USDT, converting it back, and I'm buying it back at 0.7567. Rune, it's the new one that's going in there. You can see it's playing a little nice pattern. If we go into the 4 hours, you'll see it a bit clearly. Bit of a bull flag, bit of a break, bit of a retest, confirmation, and $100 of runes going into the portfolio. Algorand, if I just zoom out on Algorand, just look at this range. Look at this range that we've been in for such a long time. Let me zoom out onto the daily. Look at this range that we've been in for such a long time. When you zoom out, it's insignificant. We've got a big range on here, Algorand. We've got a trend line where we've had one touch here, we had one touch here. If we get another touch, let me just zoom out of this. If we get another touch, all the way up here, $2.38. Doesn't say it's going to happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but look at the size of that range. That's lasted for 871 days. Breaking a close above that's going to cause an acceleration all the way up to the 382 at $1.20. So that's Algorand, $100 of Algorand going into the portfolio. Right, I'm glad that's done. Completely new outlook, completely new portfolio. I'm going to keep you updated. Keep track of my portfolio by following this playlist. Go and watch the previous videos on the playlist. Join our Discord group. There's lots of good people in there that you can interact with common interests. That's the thing, guys. Community matters. So subscribe to the channel, watch the playlist. Let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.